Greetings metalheads and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George and today I'm back with another pick of the day, top pick album that if you're not familiar with this one you need to check it out. So this is actually a very recent acquisition of mine. Picked it up I think last week in fact, but I've listened to it quite a few times within that short time frame there and I'm absolutely freaking loving this album. Didn't pick it up at the time for reasons unknown. I think it was released in 2021 and it was the first album for quite a long time from UK thrash metalers Evile. This is Hell Unleashed. So Evile I came across many moons ago through I think it was around the same time that they released their Five Serpents' Teeth album, which is a cracking album. That is a real solid modern thrash metal album. Absolutely loved that album at the time, still do, I think it's fantastic. And Evile are a brilliant band overall. And so they had a long period of time between Skull, whatever year that was, and Hell Unleashed in 2021. I know there was some lineup changes going on and inner band changes, whatever. Things happened, they disappeared, then they come back. And they've come back in very good form, on very, very good form indeed. This album, Hell Unleashed, is fantastic. It's got the sound of Evile, definitely, and I think they do, in fairness, have their own very iconic sound. They've actually made a pretty big impact on the thrash metal scene. Certainly in my opinion anyway. The lineup consists of Old Drake, who's a kind of founding member there, spearheading the band, who is on vocals and lead guitar. Formerly he was just doing the lead guitar, but he's also taken over vocal duties here as well. A very good thrash metal vocalist. I think he's got a good voice, but the real iconic sound comes from his signature riffing. That guy's got a great guitar sound and his riffs are just delicious. Then we've got Joel Graham on bass, Ben Carter on drums, and Adam Smith on rhythm guitar as well. Yeah, talented bunch. 4-piece, but red hot. This is red hot thrashing. Absolutely excellent. One of the most prominent, certainly, bands that stands out, in my opinion, again, in the modern thrash metal scene. Certainly in terms of UK thrash bands. I think the UK has always been a little bit behind in terms of thrash metal. But Evile, definitely head of the pack there. Head of the pack. And this is a crushing album. This is sort of 45 minutes-ish of just blinding, heavy thrash. Absolutely love it. Put it on for the first time and I was immediately headbanging. I just totally transfixed by the level of awesome thrash. I know I've been talking a lot about thrash bands and thrash albums here on the channel recently. Rest assured, other extreme music fans, your black metal heads and death metal heads, I will be giving those subgenres their justice as well. I promise to not just be talking exclusively about thrash, but this album is a thrashing album. This is start to finish brilliant, top-notch thrash. And it's got a killer cover. I love that album cover. Absolutely fantastic. Also, we'll mention that the sound quality is brilliant. This is a really well-produced album. So it's produced, engineered, mixed and mastered by Chris Clancy and co-produced by Old Drake. The mastermind there. Kicks off with Paralysed, which is an absolute ripper of a track. That is full throttle thrash. Love it. Sounds freaking brilliant. I think in terms of the sound of this album, I think there's certainly a lot of influence in terms of the sound and style of And Justice for All era Metallica. That kind of sound, very rhythm, thrashing, riff-driven music. Less kind of technical, I suppose. They're just sort of going for crushing grooves and rhythms there, and it works. It works. absolutely cracking riffs throughout this album. But certainly some moments really do have a And Justice for All kind of resonance to it, which is no bad thing, of course. So we kick off with Paralysed, which is awesome. Then we get the really incredibly heavy Gore, which is, again, full throttle, and Ol demonstrates some fantastic aggressive vocals there. Incarcerated is really And Justice for All homage stuff there. Absolutely brilliant though. I absolutely love it. Incarcerated is a cracking track, amazing crunchy riffs, guaranteed to get you head banging. But you know, there's hooks galore there, absolutely. War of Attrition, another rather heavy track. Pretty heavy stuff. You know, almost verging on, is it a bit too extreme to be thrash? Is it starting to get towards the death metal territory? Probably not, actually. It's definitely thrash, but it's a cracking track. Amazing one. Disorder is another killer track. The Thing 1982, interesting song. That is another sort of album highlight for me. Definitely. That is a solid track. Robust, thrashing brilliance. And you know, the musicianship here is so tight. It really stands out just in general, but certainly on some tracks, the guitar work really is blinding. And what I will say, you know, there's that comparison to And Justice for All, but the bass work, Joel Graham's bass work, is always prominent, and I love that. You've got that kind of bass rattle. Love it. Really makes it. And you can hear it at all times. Then we've got Zombie Apocalypse, 2 minutes of very groovy, stomping thrash. Love it. A little bit of a slower pace there, bit of more of a stomp rather than and a groove more than an outright neck-busting thrash, but it's fantastic. Then we've got Control from Above, which is a really strong track as well, before we get the title closing track, Hell Unleashed, which is a beast of a track. It is absolutely Hell Unleashed. So start to finish, this is really enjoyable, really high quality thrash. And I don't know why I didn't pick it up at the time. I think it was a classic case of so many other things to listen to and enjoy. Can't really remember what else was coming out in 2021, but for reasons unknown, I did overlook this album. But I have made up for it since, because I think this is a top-notch album. Definitely, if you're a fan of, I guess there's quite a few modern thrash metal bands, but there's no bands that I can make a direct comparison to. But we've got like Suicidal Angels, Angelus Apatrida, we've got Cry6 as well. You know, there's a lot of great thrash out there. And if you are a fan of those sorts of bands, then you're definitely going to dig Evile and definitely going to dig Hell Unleashed. So I am now going to have to pick up a copy of the newest album, The Unknown, as I've missed that one as well. Didn't even realise it was out, I will be honest. Shame on me. But also, if you're not familiar with Evile, do check out their earlier albums as well. Certainly Five Serpent Teeth and Into the Unknown, or Into the Grave, I should say, is a fantastic album as well, full of just top-notch thrashing riffs. So check out Hell Unleashed from UK thrash metalers Evile. Absolute beast of an album. You certainly want to check out Paralysed, Incarcerated, I'd say Zombie Apocalypse, and Hell Unleashed as well. Just check out the whole album. You will not be disappointed. If you love riffs, Old Drake and company have it in spades. So, thank you very much for watching, my friends. Do feel free to like, subscribe, share, support. It's all very much appreciated. Let me know what you think of Hell Unleashed and Evile. Always interested to hear the thoughts and opinions of others. Do check back soon for more reviews and recommendations of all the good heavy things. Until next time, take care of yourselves and stay heavy.